Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to begin our meeting. This is the regular village council meeting for the Village of Forest Park. This is our May 23rd, 2022 meeting. We begin our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you're able, please rise. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Burns,
Here.
Commissioner Maxim,
Here.
Commissioner Nero,
Here.
Commissioner Vogt.
Here.
Mayor Hoskins.
Here. Okay, approval of minutes. Is there a motion to approve the May 9th Village Council meeting minutes?
Nero will make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Nero, seconded by Commissioner Maxam. Discussion? No discussion, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Burns.
Aye.
Commissioner Maxim,
Aye.
Commissioner Nero.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye. Commissioners, is there a motion to approve the May 9th, 2022 closed session meeting minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Burns. Is there a second?
Nero will second.
Thank you. It's been seconded by Commissioner Nero. Discussion? No discussion, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Burns.
Aye.
Commissioner Maxim,
Aye.
Commissioner Nero, Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye. Madam Clerk, is there any public comment tonight?
Yes, I have one that was emailed and one who's here in person. So I'll do the email first. It's from Dr. Beatrix Booty regarding Crystal Car Wash. Her email reads, Crystal Car Wash opened in 2018 without a public hearing. This led to a long slew of nuisance and noise complaints that are still not solved. Currently, there are 27 vacuums that generate noise and traffic backups on Harlem, Lexington, and adjacent alleys. Current Celltech LLC, in parentheses, Crystal Car Wash, plans to expand by adding 17 new vacuums. These vacuums would be warranted only if the existing 27 would exceed their capacity. Considering a 5-minute vacuum time, this translates to 6 cars per hour per vacuum. For 27 vacuums at maximum capacity, this number is 6 times 27 equals 162 hours per 162 cars per hour. The proposed additional 17 vacuums would generate an additional 6 times 17 equals 102 cars per hour. The village should consider if Lexington and the adjacent streets and alleys can handle the traffic. 162 plus 102 equals 264 cars per hour. That's the end of that email. And then we have Monica Burns in person. Monica? Right here.
Hey y'all, it's been an hour, been a minute, been a year.
That's how you did. Remember that last time?
Okay, I'm Monica, I'm from 841 Elgin. I'd like to express confusion, frustration, and frustration regarding the Crystal Car Wash situation as it continues to develop. It's been a year since my first appearance in front of you, and there has been no meaningful communication from you regarding our issues. Last time I was here, we were given busy work to document every time the business breaks the noise ordinance, a truly funny task, as I recently attended the neighborhood watch meeting and was informed that the noise ordinances meant to protect us from business noise are antiquated and therefore unenforceable. I would understand if this was a law relating to sodomy, wife beating, or child labor, but this is noise. Perhaps that ordinance should have aged with us before building businesses that are not in line. And if an inconvenient law was going to be arbitrarily tossed aside, this would have been a matter residents could vote on, or perhaps it could have been publicly rendered antiquated and thrown out by the council, but that didn't happen. If these ordinances are antiquated and no longer enforceable, and this was a known and approved fact, then is there a reason it remains ratified and published in our ordinances? My neighbors and I have been repeatedly informed by village staff that Crystal Car Wash meets Illinois noise standards, which suggests to me that when local ordinances are lacking, county and state laws supersede local ordinances. So if our local ordinances are antiquated and no longer enforceable, perhaps Cook County law can guide us in a more meaningful direction, which is the printout that I have in front of you. It's also not everything that I have, but section 30-452, new motor powered equipment noise performance. No person shall sell or lease, and that's what you're doing at a car wash, right? You're leasing the equipment, whether you pay it for it or not, or offer sale or release any powered equipment or powered hand tool that produces a maximum noise level exceeding the following noise limits at a distance of 50 feet. Now, what's relevant about this language is that it's not 50 feet from the property line. It's 50 feet, period, probably from the offensive piece of equipment. So I'm just gonna go through these really quick. Number one, construction and industrial machinery. The relevant pieces here are compressors and pneumatic powered equipment. That's 80 decibels is the maximum noise limit. That's what my, not NIOSH qualified cell phone registered at 50 feet from the offensive equipment. Number two is agricultural tractors and equipment, 80 decibels. We're starting to see a pattern. 3, powered commercial equipment of 20 horsepower or less intended for infrequent use in residential areas such as chainsaws, pavement breakers, etc., and hand-powered tools, 80 decibels. Now, the most relevant for us, given the property is directly adjacent to a residential area, powered equipment intended for repetitive use in residential areas. Such equipment includes lawnmowers, small lawn and garden tools, riding tractors, snow removal equipment, whatever, so on and so forth, hand-powered tools and the like. The noise limit is 65 decibels. Now, if you guys remember from last year, 300 feet away from the offending property, from their property line, not even their equipment, I live 300 feet away from them, and it's 65 decibels. And then the last part, not that's like how to whatever. Section 11.2, off-street parking space. Section B talks about commercial uses. Item 2 says automobile car washes. Stack off-street parking spaces shall be provided for waiting automobiles equal to 5 times the maximum capacity of every wash stall, plus 1 additional off-street parking space for every 2 employees. Maximum capacity shall mean the greatest number of automobiles capable of being washed at any given time. I believe that number is 2. So this is what y'all are telling us. When local ordinances lack, state and law county supersedes. We've had a minimum of a year to draft new enforceable ordinances. And with that said, please, I urge our council to publish and ratify new enforceable ordinances that will protect our neighborhood from the unreasonable and unwelcome encroachment of this offensive and public nuisance. The neighborhood wants businesses to thrive in our town, but not at the cost of our sanity. We have asked for reasonable solutions such as double guillotine noise abatement and maybe even a cul-de-sac. We're open. Furthermore, I'm very disappointed to report that we have received no help mediating towards a meaningful solution. We have been told publicly and privately by Mr. Glinke to speak to the owners, but the folks in our neighborhood do not feel safe in doing so, as Crystal Car Wash ownership has proven to be litigious and hypervigilant. We understand that they have a history with frivolous charges and taking wanton legal action against neighbors. Recently, after making a post about my concerns, on the local town hall Facebook group, I received a message from Neil Rembos, the son of the owner. This, by his invitation, I reached out to him where it became immediately clear he was trying to meet with people behind closed doors. The vibe was controlled and very unsafe. I suggested we meet at a neutral location and record the meeting to share with neighbors unable to attend, and it would help to meet his goals of a civil, constructive conversation aimed at meeting mutual goals. Luckily, since then, he's agreed to meet with the community in a more neutral setting with a recording. At this point, we've come to you with neighborhood petitions and reasonable solutions. Could you please help us take steps towards solving this issue by scheduling a recorded meeting here at Village Hall? Thank you.
Okay, Commissioners, there are no formal communications tonight. For department reports, I believe you all received a fire department report as well as a police department report. Any comments, concerns? Commissioner Maxim.
I just really appreciated both reports. I've sort of applauded you guys for doing it before. I enjoy the photos, of course, which are really great, but just the wealth of information about the types of calls you're taking, the type of work that you're doing, I think is really relevant. And I urge residents who are interested in, knowing more about what our police and fire department do to check out those reports as part of the agenda packet for tonight. So I just wanted to say good job. Thanks.
Okay. Moving to bills by resolution. Madam Clerk, are you ready?
I'm ready. Be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Forest Park, Cook County, Illinois, that we dispense with the reading of the individual bills inasmuch as each department head has approved and signed bills in the following aggregate amount for their respective departments. Refunds and allocations, $36,615.52. Public Affairs, $21,600.73. Police Department, $825.56. Community Center, $6,203.01. Accounts and Finance Clerk's Office, $177,264.98. Accounts and Finance Fire Department, $28,242.24. Department of Health and Safety, $11,095.94. Street Department, $30,037.63. Public Property, $61,242.82. Seizure, $380 even. Federal Customs, $3,432.67. TIF, $2,229.25. VIP, $97,983.52. Water Department, $156,570.44, for a total of $633,724.31.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, is there a motion to adopt the resolution on the bills?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Burns. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Maxim. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Burns,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxim,
Aye.
Commissioner Nero, Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is Resolution R-50-22.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, under unfinished business, we have one item. It's a resolution authorizing the award of a contract for 510 Des Plaines Green Parking Lot Project to Chicagoland Paving Contractors Incorporated in the Village of Forest Park. Is there a motion?
I think if I recall, this was already motioned and seconded for discussion and then tabled to a date certain a couple times.
Mhm.
So it's already on the table
Okay.
for discussion and vote.
Council has indicated that this does not need a formal motion and a second. So the item is up for discussion. Commissioners, what is your pleasure?
Discussion?
I just wanted to sort of go over the benefits of this project. I know that this is a tough decision because the costs have gone up, and we know that they won't go back down. I mean, it's not going to get cheaper should we decide to try to revisit this in the future. So dealing with that difficult decision, there are some benefits that I think are just worth reminding ourselves about while we consider it, and doing a little bit of the benefit cost analysis and ensure that we're making attempts to quantify the benefits, including difficult to monetize ones like, stormwater management. I would say we know that this project is not simply cosmetic. It's not just something nice for us to look at. It's something that is actively and will continue to provide a service to residents with its ability to mitigate stormwater overflow into our combined sewer system. The application from 2019 estimates that capacity at 77,000 gallons. I know we've been saying about 40. So, I mean, anywhere between 40 and 77,000 gallons in a rain event is not nothing in helping us to mitigate the taxing on our combined sewer system. It also, in collecting and slowly releasing that stormwater, it's helping to filter it and filter out contaminants. So it is effectively reducing pollutants that go into our waterways and helps to improve aquatic habitats and reduce water pollution. The visible impact is showing the residents that we are doing something to something within our power to create and embrace green infrastructure and do every little bit that we can to help mitigate the impacts on residents with flooding in these epic rain events. And I would say that, what was my last point? Sorry. 2019, when they applied for this grant, they did mention that the lot was in a deteriorated condition. I know we had heard some reports saying that it was okay, but if in 2019 it was considered deteriorated, and in addition, quote, in addition to the poor condition of the pavement, this lot is experiencing drainage issues from poor grading and insufficient drainage structures. So given that information, I do expect we will see the need to deal with that parking lot in the near future and spend monies anyway. And it can be in a greenway where we are mitigating stormwater, or it can be in another asphalt way where we have that going directly into our combined sewer system, including pollutant runoffs from non-porous surfaces. So I just wanted to kind of mention those facts while we consider this.
Thank you, Commissioner Vogel. Commissioner Maxim.
I have a question for Administrator Amade. You put together a really great memo regarding the situation and kind of, reminding us of, the process. You say in the memo that right now our local share contribution would be 177.9. And then later on, you say, if we decide we don't want to do this right now and we reapply in the future, assuming, and I know these are big assumptions, right? Assuming future project bid costs remain constant and MWR funds 70% of construction costs, the village share would be 138.5. Is that correct? So right now, if we do it, it's 177.9. But if we say no right now and then reapply, we're looking at 138.5 instead?
I understand your question. Let me just test the microphone
Okay.
for 1 second because there was a malfunction.
It's working fine.
Okay. So yes, right now our costs are 177.9, and that includes our portion of construction and engineering. Now, in the event that we decide to take a pass and reapply for the funds, the MWRD funds 70% of construction. So when you figure, assuming that if we reapply for not a grant, a project partnership with MWRD, the bid prices come in the same, MWRD funds it at the 70% level, our costs would rise to, from the 115 original to 138.5. So it's either pay 177.9 now or 138.5, assuming all things constant. Now, if the cost goes up, obviously that number will change. And assuming that we do receive acceptance of a project participation award in the future.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so does that 138.5, that is just for construction, or does that include the engineering too?
That's the engineering and the construction.
Okay, so potentially it could be less
It
if we wait.
could be less.
It could be.
But the assumption is if that bid price that we have now goes down, it stays the same, I'm sorry. So that's the assumption. So there's some degree of uncertainty there because as you see in the packets, what the bid differential were between the contractors. I don't have it in front of me here, but it's, 345. And then what was the next jump? Was it pretty significant? Yeah. So that could be reality in the future. We just don't know.
Commissioner Burns.
So as I understand this, we have to pass this tonight or June 1st, this grant goes away.
Yes, so we deferred this a few times. The first to see if, because of inflationary costs, that lessened MWRD's, in theory, project share from 70% down. We asked them if there's any more monies available to help cover those inflationary costs. They do not have any. So we're stuck with all the inflationary costs, both construction and labor. So we tabled this a couple of times. The second time is we do have a pending federal grant application and for a number of green projects. It is unknown when the results of that grant would be. We were hoping that we would have some idea by May, but that is an unknown right now on whether we receive those funds. So we have to take action tonight, yay or nay, because by our project agreement, we have to be under contract by June 1.
Well, just some food for thought. I've never seen prices go down in construction. They usually go up. That's number one. Number two, we're not guaranteed we're going to get this MWRD grant if we reapply for it for the same amount of money or even more, correct?
Yeah, we're not guaranteed. That's
So
correct.
if we don't use this grant this time, we might not get it the next time.
We may not get it. The council did ask, did express the concern that if we do not participate, will that hurt us in the future? I was told no by MWRD. They understand the situation that we are in a high inflationary period, climate. I think at least one other entity returned their grant. Their project award. I don't have the specifics on that one. But again, is the unknown in the future.
It's
Mayor,
Commissioner Nero.
as well, right? Well, I think everybody kind of knows how I feel about this one from the get-go, but I get it, I understand the green infrastructure and I understand the flooding issues in the village of Forest Park, and I get 40 to 70,000 gallons of water. All sounds good. It does. It's great. But the parking lot is not melting into a great big hole. It's in good shape. I drove by it, I've walked it, I've looked at it. And I just don't think $178,000 for a project that's not pressing is responsible. But I do understand and respect all the comments from all the commissioners. So this is just my opinion. That when it's time to do a parking lot, perhaps funds will be available, or it goes out to rebid, or we apply for another grant. We have gotten MWRD grants before in the past. This is the first and it won't be the last. We have done a lot of grant work for them through Public Works and for improvement projects. Maybe not specifically for this green infrastructure, but they have been there in the past and they are available. So I guess just really quickly, I would say that for me, that the parking lot across the street is in good enough shape to allow for other pressing projects and infrastructure building and otherwise other needed improvements in the village to take precedence. And therefore, my opinion, I don't believe we should move forward with this particular project.
Commissioner Maxim.
I know I asked this the last time we discussed this, but some time has passed and I just want to get a sense again of the useful life left in the parking lot. So Administrator Amade, can you speak to sort of the condition of the parking lot right now?
Yeah, Director Stella's here. He's okay with the condition. There may be 2 spots that we may have to do a patch, but I think within 5 more years? About 5, where we will have to pave it. I mean, it's not years and years away, but it's more short term that we will have to pave.
You have a cost estimate of what it's going to be 5 years from now?
Yeah, it's asphalt. I think what
Just
was our
to
estimate?
pave it, how much would it be?
Our estimate for instance, the west half of Constitution. Yeah, 25 or 30. So I'm going to say at least 50? Or just under 50 or under? That's just a quick guess.
That's just paving.
Yeah, repaving asphalt, yes.
Commissioner Maxim.
I am gonna agree with Commissioner Nero that, well, I also, support flood mitigation. I think it's really important. I support green initiatives. But I'm gonna vote no on a project that doesn't have to be redone right now. The parking lot itself is fine. And the village has so many other expenses and things that probably are more pressing and should take precedence over this. One of the things in the memo too was that perhaps we could use ARPA money. But I also think until we sit down kind of as a village and have a real solid discussion about, where our ARPA money is going to go, I don't think we should just start, kind of earmarking it for stuff. So I'm sad to vote no, but I'm going to vote no on this project.
Is there any further discussion?
I mean, Joe, you made a comment, I know prices don't go down, right? No, typically they don't, but we are at a very unusual time right now, right? Logistics move, just in the construction industry in general, I have a good breadth of that and costs are up, just material. Go buy a 2x4 today and go buy one 4 years ago. It's ridiculous. Go buy it 3 years ago. A cedar 2x4 is $25. The costs are astronomical. Is it reasonable to think that it's going to stay that way? I don't think so. I think that some form of normalcy will come back at some point. So I guess that's what I would say to, are they going to go down? No, but maybe things will level out to perhaps where they were a year or so ago, or 2 years ago.
Commissioner Vogt.
I just want to say, I respect everyone's opinions here, and I don't think anyone is wrong. This is a difficult decision. I do find it interesting that roughly the cost to repave in the next few years is almost the same as this overage that we're accountable for. But a permeable lot will be mitigating stormwater and an asphalt lot will be just dumping it right into the combined sewer system. That's all.
Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Burns,
Yes.
Commissioner Maxim,
No,
Commissioner
No.
Nero, Commissioner Vogt,
Yes, aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
No. Okay, Commissioners, next item is an ordinance authorizing the sale or disposition of surplus property of the Village of Forest Park. This is computer equipment. Is there a motion?
Nero make that motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Nero. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Vogt. Discussion? No discussion, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Burns,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxim,
aye.
Commissioner Nero,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is ordinance O-21-22.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, the next item is an ordinance authorizing the purchase of a 1-0-turn SRT XD 61-inch finish mower. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Vogt. Is there a second?
Nero will second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Nero. Discussion?
Mayor, one thing.
Commissioner Vogt.
I just want to thank Director Stella and Village Administrator Amade for working to sort of get everything aligned that we don't really need in the village anymore. You've been doing a lot of house cleaning down there at Public Works, and we appreciate you selling the mowers that we can't use anymore, and we're bringing it down to one. You're making some, I think, some sensible choices for, you know, the good of the village and being fiscally responsible. So I just want to tell you guys that I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Commissioner Vogt. Is there any further discussion? Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
Commissioner Burns,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxim,
Aye.
Commissioner Nero,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is ordinance O-22-22.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, next item is an ordinance authorizing the purchase of a 15-ton packaged rooftop air conditioning unit for the community center. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Vogt. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Maxam. Discussion? There's no discussion, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Burns,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxim,
Aye.
Commissioner Nero,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is ordinance O-23-22.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, next item is an ordinance authorizing the purchase of one 2022 Jeep Wrangler Sport Replacement Vehicle for the Public Works Department. Is there a motion?
Nero make that motion.
It's been moved by Commissioner Nero. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Vogt. Discussion? No discussion, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Burns,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxim,
Aye.
Commissioner Nero,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is ordinance O-24-22.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, next item is a resolution authorizing a waiver of the hiring freeze for IMRF employees regarding the hiring of one full-time utility billing clerk and one PACE bus driver. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Burns. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Maxam. Discussion? There's no discussion, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Burns,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxim,
Aye.
Commissioner Nero.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is resolution R-51-22.
Commissioners, next item is resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a professional engineering services proposal for construction engineering services for the 15th Street sewer separation project by and between the Village of Forest Park and Christopher Burke Engineering Limited. This is the 15th Street Circle Avenue to Marengo Avenue project. Is there a motion?
Nero will make that motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Nero. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Vogt. Discussion? There's no discussion, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Burns,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxim,
Aye.
Commissioner Nero,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is resolution R-52-22.
Okay, Commissioners, next items are some entertainment license requests. So we have the approval for Shortstop Lounge at 7425 Madison. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
It's been moved by Commissioner Maxim. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Burns. Discussion.
I mean, I think the reason I don't want a motion is because we've done this like 4 times already. And I guess just to reiterate, if you're going to be playing music from a laptop, you don't need to apply for an entertainment license. Again, so we should, as when someone comes in to apply for the entertainment license, read it. And if it says play music from a laptop, say, thank you very much. Have a nice day. You don't need to.
Commissioner, I agree with you. I really do. These are in front of us. I think I haven't specifically talked to the petitioner, but there have been a couple of times where, a bar, entertainment establishment, they had a DJ or they had some other kind of entertainment. And when we saw that, we sent the police to stop them, right? Just issue them a local citation. But we didn't know. That's what they say. We didn't know. So I kind of think that some of these businesses, out of an abundance of caution, are coming in front of us. Now, we can still improve this. One of the things we can do is if the council decides, I'm not saying we have to do this tonight, but maybe we could, kind of delegate some of this to the administrator so he could review these. But what I am a little bit worried about is, let's say that, any bar, they tell us on the one hand that they're going to just have a laptop. But for whatever reason, some celebrity guest shows up and, that person wants to help entertain and they start entertaining. And it could lead to, some kind of hard feelings, right? Because the village then feels the need to stop in. I'm not saying that's what's happening here, but, I think these businesses, they just want something really predictable. And I get it, right? We don't need to look at laptop DJs, but I could very easily see a bar. Oh, we didn't know, or they have a new manager who's not familiar with the rules. I mean, I can easily count to 3 times when we've recently stopped people either having a band or having an actual physical DJ on a Friday night. So I don't know the best way to do this, but I hear your concern. I just want to point that out. Okay. Commissioner Vogt.
And again, I think we've been pretty clear. If you are having a DJ play music, you need a license. If you're pressing play as a bartender on your iPad, you do not need a license. We've also denied licenses for people who are too vague. So I don't really think it applies to say, I want to play music all month and maybe a DJ will show up. We said that that's not really what we intend these licenses for either. We want specificity, sorry. And, we want people to be clear. To me, this does not qualify, and we've asked, and it is the same license. I mean, they're just whiting it out and sending it back in with a new date. So like, if it's a DJ, ask for the license. If you're just playing music in the background as an employee, as a bartender on your shift, you do not need the license. I think that's pretty clear, and I think we all agreed on that.
I think you have to make it clear to the people that are applying for these licenses. It's got to be the employee that's playing the music and not somebody you've hired to play the music. And that's where you get the differential between a DJ and an employee behind the bar that's just putting some music on their laptop.
Any further discussion? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Burns,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxim,
Aye.
Commissioner Nero,
I'm just unclear, what are we voting on?
I-
Yes, I have music from your.
Commissioner Vogt,
No.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye. Okay, Commissioners, next item is approval of the entertainment license request by the American Legion. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Burns. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Maxim. Discussion? No discussion. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Burns,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxim,
Aye.
Commissioner Nero, Commissioner Vogt,
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye. All right, Commissioners, next item, approval of an entertainment license request by Doc Ryan, 7432 Madison. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
It's been moved by Commissioner Maxim. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Nero. Discussion? No discussion. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Burns,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxim,
Aye.
Commissioner Nero, Commissioner Vogt,
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye. Okay, Commissioners, next item, approval of a banner request, Forest Park Juneteenth Committee. Is there a motion? It's been moved by Commissioner Nero. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Burns. Discussion. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Burns,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxim,
Aye.
Commissioner Nero, Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye. Commissioners, next item is approval of a request to close down Harrison Street for the Park District's 4th of July program. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Burns. Is there a second? It's been seconded by Commissioner Nero. Discussion? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Burns,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxim,
Aye.
Commissioner Nero, Commissioner Vogt,
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye. Okay, Commissioners, that concludes our new business for this evening. We are at Administrator's Report. Moses, what do you have for us tonight?
So first thing I'd like to talk about, I've talked about it before, just kind of a reminder for the public. We send out our weekly e-newsletters every Friday. And for the next few Fridays, I will continue to put a note in there about public commentary for the ADA transition plan. I've had a number of discussions with the Progress Center for Independent Living. I attended a webinar that they hosted, a Zoom meeting to talk about the plan. So I'd like to close public comment probably in early June for possible action by the council at the mid-June. So it'll appear in our e-newsletter the next couple of weeks, just as a reminder if anyone has any comments. I had a good discussion with the Progress Center about a week ago. So I just thank everybody for taking a look at that and letting me know if you have any comments about it. Secondly, our tree inventory is completed by the contractor that we engaged to complete that tree inventory. It's very impressive. It's very surprising to kind of see the results of what we do have in terms of our tree resources in town. Forest Park is dominated by maples. So it gives us a good grasp on what we need to do in the coming years in terms of diversifying our trees that we have in town, our inventory, and what we need to plant. Very surprised to see that we still have 72 ash trees in town. Happy to report that, during their inventory, there were not any trees that required immediate action by the village to take them down if there were a hazard, et cetera. They are calling for removals of certain trees. I'm guessing that as the years go on, we'll probably want to remove the ash trees. Pear trees, we have a number of pear trees in town and those are now considered invasive. So probably I'd like in the first meeting in June, we will talk about the draft of their findings and a draft of our updated tree ordinance, mainly pertaining to the protection of public trees on public right of ways and looking to do an adoption of our tree ordinance second meeting in June. Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Moses. Commissioner Burns.
On Memorial Day, there's going to be a service at the Park District, remembering all veterans. It's going to be at 2:00. I'd like to see some folks there and remembering our veterans that have passed in different wars and the ones that have passed and have served in the military and have passed on. It's a great day to remember. It's a great day for if you want to barbecue, but it's also a day we should be remembering everybody that passed away or died in action that contributed to our freedom in this country. So if you're not doing anything at 2:00 on Memorial Day, come on down to the park. Usually we go back over to the American Legion and have some hot dogs and refreshments. So if you can make it, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Burns. Commissioner Maxim.
I just have a really quick report. We had the first meeting of the new combined Planning and Zoning Commission Board last week on Monday. I know there was a lot of work to get the board combined. I know our attorney, Nick Peppers, worked real hard on that, so thank you. And I also just want to thank the members of the PZC who are all volunteers, as are all the people on our commissions. And in particular on this commission, because it's sometimes like complex building plans and intricacies and village code. And you know, it takes a lot for people to be willing to spend time to do that. So they did a great job. And I also want to thank Courtney Kashima, our village planner, who is on hand to answer questions. And that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you, Commissioner Maxim. Commissioner Nero.
Yes, sir. Yeah, just a quick shout out here for our Traffic and Safety Committee that's been commissioned, that's up and running. I want to do especially thank Sal Stella, Director Stella from Public Works attending these meetings to represent the village. And then also we've had officers Riley and Blackwell there as part of that as well. And this Traffic and Safety Committee has got a lot of energy lately. They've met several times and it's really the process in which concerns from the residents regarding intersections and signage and generally speaking, the safety of either our traffic patterns, sidewalks, things like that where pedestrians are walking. So these concerns come before us. We kick them over to the Safety and Traffic Commission and they vet these things out. And they've been working with our Public Works Director and also the Police Department to shout out to Police Chief Gross for helping to pull together the data, looking at accident reports on specific intersections to be able to make decisions based upon frequency of accidents, severity of accidents over the last year, 2, 3, to validate concerns or comments from village residents. And so all of this is happening in the background. You don't even know it. Isn't it fantastic? But it allows us, this particular commission to meet and then present us with potential solutions. They've looked at several: Circle and Lemur, 7200 Franklin, 1000 Lathrop, and over on the 1200, 1300 block of Marengo, and made some recommendations to the village. And now it's up to us to take a look at those and see what's feasible before we move forward. So keep up the good work, Jordan, and who's the committee chair, and the team members there. And I believe their next meeting will be coming up in June here. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Vogt.
Yeah, I just want to give a recap on Public Works Week. Our Public Works Department had a week of networking, taking some classes, and then we also had our electronics recycling event happening throughout the week. So they were very busy. Sal gave me the final numbers today. Very busy doing bulk pickup along the parkway. They filled 7 20-yard dumpsters of bulk items. They were making trips all week, picking those things up. And then they filled 21 pallets of electronics and TVs. And they were getting donations up until, the final minutes on Saturday. And then they had 2 Republic event boxes, which are just these big cardboard boxes full of light bulbs and another one full of batteries. So it was, as Director Stella said, overall, it was a huge success for the residents to unload all of that clutter. And then as Moses filled everybody in on, our tree survey was completed. And we received an executive summary of that. And I hope all y'all get to look through that. It was so much information, and the recommendations provided were really informative. And as the summary stated, we are now equipped to use the valuable information in that to address short-term concerns, long-term management considerations, and overall planning. So it's really invaluable to see that data on paper, and we really understand better what we're working with going forward. And then just a brief update on the Altenheim Advisory Committee. The selections were made on that, but I think we're going to reach out by the end of last week, but I think it's actually going to be the beginning of this week. The mayor, I believe, is sending out those letters this week, and he can speak to that. And then I just hope everybody continues to stay engaged and participate in this process moving forward. There will be upcoming community, input opportunities for that, and there's still all of the information on the website. And that is all I have. We are, lots of donations have also been rolling in for the fundraiser that Juliet Harrington is spearheading for the dog park. So that's been really successful, and everybody can continue to visit the village. What is it, the water survey page? Our ePay Civic ePay website that has the drop-down donation option for the dog park fundraiser. So that's it.
Thank you, Commissioner Vogt. There are several upcoming events that I want to go over in a second, but first I want to talk a little bit about what's called C4. C4 is a new initiative which stands for Cross-Community Collaboration to Address Climate. This is viewed as a sort of a collective among suburbs to address climate change, also to address workforce issues. This is an opportunity that is being driven by 3 mayors. These are the mayors of Broadview, Mayor Thompson, Oak Park, Mayor Skaman, and River Forest, Mayor Aducci. C4 was presented, and also it's in partnership with 7 Generations, which is an organization in Oak Park. This was presented to the West Central Municipal Conference about 4 weeks or so ago at a larger meeting, and other municipalities were invited to participate. So what C4 envisions is that suburbs would band together and use their scale to possibly make purchases of technology or services to address climate change. Examples could include EV charging stations. What we're seeing now in the marketplace are some of the larger companies that have traditionally run parking lots and also parking garages are now moving into the EV charging station market. And they want to sell, installation of EV charging stations. This village has already been approached, but rather than, deal with them individually as a fairly small municipality, it would be possible for Forest Park to band together with several other suburbs and possibly work a better deal. That's one example of how C4 could function. If we choose to join this collaboration, it's not binding. Moses, I believe, has attended one session that was designed for managers and mayors. He's forwarded a memorandum of understanding to our council. Council has kind of given his comments. So what conceivably we could do is participate in a ceremony on June 1st at Triton College to sort of sign on to this initiative. Again, it's cross-community collaboration to address climate. And I see it kind of developing into something similar to like the West Cook Solid Waste Agency, sort of advising municipalities on purchases and offering its expertise, because not everyone has those kinds of skills in-house. So that's one thing. Commissioner Burns mentioned the Memorial Day celebration at the Park District. This is the annual event. Hopefully, we'll have all the commissioners there. River Forest also has its traditional Memorial Day parade. I think Mayor Ducci had such a good time walking in the Forest Park St. Patrick's Day parade that she invited her neighboring mayors to participate and walk with her in the River Forest parade. I'm not saying I'm going to wear the River Forest shirt, but I do plan to show up at 9 a.m. and join our neighbors and marking the holiday. Let's see. We've already approved a Juneteenth flag raising for June 6th, and June 18th is set for the traditional, Forest Park Juneteenth family pool party. There are a number of celebrations planned in June. One of the things that the mayors got together, again, this is the mayors of Oak Park, River Forest, Maywood, and us, and we conceived whether or not we could host a joint event for Juneteenth. And so the mayors have been working with some volunteer organizations, including the Oak Park River Forest Community Foundation and other area volunteer groups. And we've sort of conceived a route that could serve as a new tradition, a joint suburban Juneteenth parade. This could happen on June 18th, and we've identified a funding source. There's a regional tourism bureau called Visit Oak Park. And Visit Oak Park received some monies from the state and county to do large events in the suburbs. They came to the village a while back and asked if we needed help with any kinds of events. And we said, stay tuned. And then the mayors have been talking. And so we've looped in our various police chiefs and administrators. And so this is all coming together. There's been significant private sector interest. We've got donations secured from Walgreens, from Walmart, from other large companies in the area. And so we think we're set to sort of co-host what could be a really nice parade, and that's slated for the morning of June 18th, commissioners. We received a request from Betsy Ross School to block down their section of Marengo. This is a 1400 block of Marengo on June 3rd for what they call the Betsy Ross Block Party. So all the commissioners are invited to that. We received communication today. And what else do we have? I mentioned at our last council meeting that a group of volunteers has sort of convened to stage a Forest Park Pride Festival. This is LGBTQ Pride. And this is slated for June 23rd. Their proposal is to block Constitution Court from 5 to 8. And they want to loop in businesses and loop in the Chamber of Commerce and have sort of a festival of sorts along Madison. This is a Thursday evening because the city of Chicago has its large Pride Festival that weekend. And many of the organizations that the organizers would want to participate in what Forest Park will be doing are otherwise occupied during the larger Chicago Pride event. So this is being led by the owner of Play It Again Sports, Eric Crumry, and he's working with staff and volunteers here in the village. We already have approved the street closure for the fireworks on July 4th. Forest Park has been approached by one of the TV stations in the area that wants to do sort of a Saturday morning variety program here in the village. So we've sent them tentative areas where they could operate. We want to involve the local businesses, again, the chamber. And if this happens, we see it happening along Madison Street, probably in Constitution Court. And this would tentatively take place on August the 5th. So we're quite a ways from that, but it could be a nice opportunity to once again highlight the village of Forest Park. And that's all I have for my commissioner's report tonight. So having said all that, the mayor will now entertain the motion to adjourn. It's been moved by Commissioner Nero. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Been seconded by Commissioner Burns. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Burns,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxim,
Aye.
Commissioner Nero,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt,
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye, we stand adjourned.